Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome to our weekly training, our weekly live here in Recover and Rise. If you guys are on here, say hello. Let us know that you are on. Julie's going to be popping on here with me very shortly. And we are going to be talking more about the topic of how to embody peace and be a light for others. And this is a big topic because our energy truly does impact the surroundings around us. People, places, everything. This is going to be an awesome one. So we'd love to know if you guys are here live with us, put live in the comments. If you guys are catching the replay, put replay in the comments. And also, I'd love to know how you're feeling. There's a lot of stuff going on in life right now and lots of emotions moving through. And I know for me personally, it's been a learning journey to be able to slow down enough to really be able to acknowledge those feelings within. So I'm inviting you to just take a moment to just, hi Jane, to take a moment and just feel into how you're feeling right now and just put that into the comments. How are you feeling, Jane? Super happy you're on here live with us. How are you feeling, Julia?
I'm feeling so many things, Laura.
I know.
I'm feeling some grief as someone that I looked up to as a dancer. I found out passed away this morning, so that's a big blow to the artist community. And I think that this is a time where a lot of people struggle in silence, and so we're here just to bring some light and shed a little bit of light on how we can better support people, because I'm sure that the people in this group not only want to support themselves, but they also want to support their family and be a light for other people. And so that's why I think this topic is so important, because ultimately, if we don't embody those tools for ourselves as well, how can we be a light for our families? How can we raise the kids that we want to raise? How can we, really be that person who embodies that peace? So, yeah, that's the topic that we are on for today.
I'm so happy you're on here. We saw it's your birthday too. Happy birthday, Candace. Everybody say happy birthday to Candace today. Hi, Justin. So awesome. Yeah, this is a big one. A big topic. Big topic.
Beautiful. Jane says, I was feeling a little disconnected, sad, and some grief has come up for the old version of me. I'd love to hear which version of you is wiping down. And maybe we'll start there. Unless, Laura, you want to start us off? I'm happy to start there.
Yeah, you can start off if you want. I'm still kind of making stuff myself, so I think it'll be great. I've also, I resonate with what you shared about the grief piece, because I know, but my Oma passed away on Wednesday, and it's just been bringing up a lot of things, both with that, plus all the stuff in my family and all of the other stuff going on in my life. So it has been that challenge for me. And I don't want to say challenge, it's a challenge, but it's like calling me to go deeper, like it's calling me to go deeper into actually making myself a priority and making my emotions a priority to really be able to actually be able to maintain everything that I'm creating in the physical right now. So it's definitely calling me to go deeper into my own healing and into myself, but it feels good to be able to do that.
I'm so proud of you, Laura. You're just such a light. And Laura is an example of a light for so many people. And I think that this is important because there's going to be times as leaders where we need to also go deeper. And I know for myself, it was so interesting because earlier this year, I went to a country that I had always wanted to visit. And I thought I had an idea. I was like, oh, I'm going to go there and help a bunch of people and do all these things and host retreats and da 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 da. And guess what happened? My laptop broke and my phone started to overheat. So I truly couldn't do the sessions with people the way that I always thought that I would do it from there. And so really all this time opened up and I started to visit some sacred sites. I went to see a waterfall. I would go hiking. And I started to practice my own tools, the tools that we talk about in Recover and Rise, more and more. And I realized that there was still more healing for myself that I needed to do. And I recognized in that moment that I need to be the one that goes first. I need to be the one that goes first. If I want the people around me to change, I need to be the one that goes first. And so I just opened my heart to that new possibility of what what more hurts do I need to feel? What more resentments do I need to process? What are the fears here? I asked for support around these things to help me move through, kind of like Jane was saying, there's old versions of us that want to die. There's old versions of us. We were talking to someone the other day about limiting beliefs, and I was sharing about a limiting belief that I had growing up about how I wasn't loved. And I'm sure that this dancer that committed suicide this week as well, maybe he felt that he wasn't loved. And so all of us have these beliefs. Sorry, my dog's just chewing a bone in the background. She always loves to get busy when we are busy. We all carry these limiting beliefs that we're not even consciously aware of that impact our everyday lives. If I carry this belief that I wasn't loved, how do you think I would move around in my relationship? How do you think I would move around in my career? How do you see I would move around with the people around me? I didn't even realize how impactful that belief was for me. And so as I committed to this work, and as I started growing, and as I started asking for the right support, all these beliefs started to shed, like the snake skin that's just shedding off, shedding off, shedding off. And then our true essence just gets to come through. That peace gets to come through. And Laura did such a beautiful session for me over the weekend. We had a sacred circle, and I wrote about it in this group. I posted like a really big post about it, but she really helped me tap open this new treasure chest and to release these memories, the hidden traumas, these memories that I had that were really keeping me hostage. And so I just want to thank her. But ultimately, our peace comes from liberating ourselves. Our peace comes from being willing to open those doors, being willing to go to any length to heal, being willing to connect to our higher power so that we can find a newfound strength and we can truly tap into a new way of being as we continue to walk our path.
I love the snake analogy with the shedding of the skin, because it's like this ongoing process of that happening and continuing to come back home to ourselves and remembering why we're here and what we're here to bring to the world. I love that.
That's right.
I'm just going to read Jane's comment here. She says, the one that used to stay stuck in the emotions, now I let them flow through me and feel them to know what they are and what they want to tell me. Yes, Jane. Oh, thank you, Jane. I appreciate your love and your hugs, and also letting go of the old stories that keep me stuck.
It's so powerful. That is really the game, because if we only know one life and we only have one set of goggles, I always say, sometimes we don't even know the old stories that we're holding on to. So it's about discovering those tools and discovering what kind of support do I need to allow those stories to go. And who in this group maybe wants to be more of a leader? Who in this group wants to serve more people? Who in this group wants to help other people transform as well? I know it's not just me and Laura.
Yeah.
I know that there's other people in this group. We're here for a reason, that want to help people transform and want to help people grow.
Yes.
And the biggest, yes. The biggest lesson that I needed to know was that the deeper that I go in myself, the deeper I can go with other people. The more I'm able to hold space for myself and allow myself to process what's there, the more that I can hold that space for other people. The more that I can prompt others to grow as well. The more that my state of being, people are going to be like, wow, what does that person have? What did they do to change in that way? How is it that they have that glow? I look at Laura, I'm like, what?
No, you cut out, Julie.
The person who supported me, she was, oh,
you cut out.
That's okay. I feel complete.
Okay, we don't really know what you just said the last little bit. After you said I look
That's okay.
at Laura, and then it was just like,
I look at Laura and just see how much she's glowing. And I know that a lot of us think that people get lucky or that people just inherited it or maybe someone helped them with it. But I also know how much work Laura has done on herself and how much she's been willing to go to those lengths to hold that space for herself, to pull up those memories. And this is a long-term journey. And this is something that took me 10 years to get to where I am now. And I'm still learning and I'm still growing. And, you know, once we kind of say yes to that journey, there's so much that opens up for us. So much. Hidden dreams that I didn't know were possible. Relationships, the depth of intimacy of relationships that I didn't know was possible. The, you know, just the level of peace and enjoyment that we get to experience on a daily basis. Jane says, makes so much sense. I've been waiting for being perfect. Now I accept where I am and where I'm going. The more I heal, the more I grow, the more I help others. Yes, yes, Jane, you got it.
yeah,
that's right. And I mean, look at Laura and I mean, both of us are processing grief right in this moment. You know, we're both processing. We are not perfect people.
yeah.
We are not perfect people, but with the right tools, we can still show up. We can still be here. We can still help others. We might need some space from others because guess what? Healthy boundaries sometimes says, hey, I need this time for my own healing. I don't have capacity or space to support you right now. And I find that a lot of us who don't have those healthy boundaries, we fill ourselves up like a garbage can. And I made this analogy for someone the other day, someone who reached out to us. Imagine a garbage can that was never emptied. And if life continued to happen and we just fill up that garbage can with garbage, eventually it's going to overflow. Eventually that garbage can just can't take it anymore. So no wonder we lash out with anger. No wonder we burst out in tears. No wonder we feel depressed in the morning. It's not by accident. It's that we are full and our bodies are trying to tell us that we are full, but some of us are not listening. And so by emptying the garbage can, we find that connection to our bodies. By emptying that garbage can, we find that connection to our desires. By emptying that garbage can, we find that peace and liberation. And then we can show others how to do that too. And that's the game. And those of us who've experienced trauma, there are studies that show that we will be happiest when we give other people what we have been given. That is literally what makes us most happy. The 12 steps, and the 12th step, we must give this gift on to others. There's so many different teachings and different books that suggest that we are at the most peace when we can be of service to other people.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing too with that is being able to do that while still maintaining that sense of that you are okay, right? Because like Julia said, like even right before this, Julia had tested into me and grief came up and vengefulness, and it's like there's this whole range of emotions that we experience as humans, and it really is like Jane was saying, like there is no perfect because it's all perfect. Like if we only understood the bigger picture of what was happening, every single thing that's happening within us at every given moment to like the craziest little intention is all exactly perfect. And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to leadership that I've learned is it isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity. It's about really just that full acceptance. And it's about having the tools to be able to come to that belief that you are perfectly imperfect exactly as you are, because it does with our conditioning, the way that society's been, the way that the culture has like taught us things, the way that our parents have maybe taught us things. It just hasn't allowed us to have a certain belief system that allows us to fully be in our authenticity. And when we can start really coming into that authenticity, it just becomes more organic. You know, it doesn't feel like you have to try to do things. You can just show up as yourself, and you know that that is exactly what is being needed in that moment when you're just showing up, right? Like even now, like Julie and I didn't have a plan of what we were going to come on here and talk about, right? But look at the comments, so inspiring. I love that analogy. Thank you. Right? Like there's so many things that when we just choose to show up in our authenticity and being vulnerable and communicating and all of these things, like things just they just flow, right? There's no forcing it's just flowing of what's happening. And that's really, to me, that is what leadership is in the new era, in the new age of what is coming. It's not about power or about all of these other things. It really just is about us fully being ourselves and being able to, like you said, just be able to bring that essence out to the world and help people through the things that we've already feel competent in doing, so that we can continue that ripple and allow that to continue going out.
Powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful. I mean, also the question that kind of came through as Laura was speaking was, who decides what's perfect?
Yes. Yeah.
Am I deciding what's perfect? Because if I'm the one that decides what's perfect, I'm a dead lady. Because then I'd be fighting life every day at all times to try to make things perfect. And don't get me wrong, there are certain things that we can control. We can control our reactions. We can control, our perceptions of how we see things. And that's why we got to get our perceptions in check. And that's why we got to, really come to the understanding of, who gets to decide what's perfect. It's not me, right? All I can do is do my best, and the rest, that is up to the higher realms, or Mother Nature, whatever you believe, right? So in that is a deep surrender. In that belief is a deep surrender, and in that belief is a deep acceptance of what is. And I find that the more that I can come to terms with acceptance and surrender and being at peace with what is in this moment, leadership is not always grandiose things. Leadership is sometimes who we are being right now in this moment. And if I can look at someone in the eyes, maybe I might smile at them. Maybe I get to just accept exactly how they're showing up today. Maybe they're showing up with grief, and I get to just accept that that's who they're being in that moment. Maybe, I go out for my day and, someone makes a funny comment at me or something like that. Am I able to control that person? Not really. Right? And so what do I see needs to change in me, or what do I see would like to shift in me for me to be able to be at peace with that person, place, or things? These are things that Laura and I can definitely go deeper one-on-one with those people who are interested. And we do have our Recover and Rise course that outlines all of these tools that we use every single day to go deeper in our healing, to process those resentments, to process so we can have that peace, that state of peace.
And we're continuing to add things into it too. It's just like this ever unfolding book of magical tricks. It's so exciting.
They are literally like magic tricks.
They are. I know.
It's like, whoa, yeah. That shifted so quickly when, in the past I would have spent weeks thinking about this thing, right? Or months, or sometimes years, right? We don't even know how long we've been in that dark umbrella for, but it is possible. And I just want to paint this picture. It's so possible to live with so much peace and so much joy, as I'm sure some of you guys know in this group. If you have touched on peace and you know what joy and peace feel like, let us know below what helps you every day. And for those of you who are interested in going deeper to process, we're here. Just let us know. Type me below, and one of us will reach out to you for sure.
Amazing. Okay. Well, thank you everybody who is on this live with us today. We appreciate you. Jane and Candace and Justin and Sharon. And if you guys are here on the replay, put replay in the comments. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next week. I actually have a meditation, I think, that I'm going to put into the group if you guys would value from a meditation, because I know right now there's lots of stuff going on. I did a meditation actually just earlier, and it definitely helped me to be able to kind of come back home to myself. So I was thinking I might share that with you guys. If that would be of value to you, then just let me know in the comments, and then I can add that into the group this week for you as well, so you can have that tool. And if you have any questions or anything comes up, feel free to just put them in here. We're here to support you. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Julia, for being on here.
Thank you so much, Laura. Love you so much. Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.